You could come to us and we can fix you.
We should make a chart.
Yeah.
Like make a chart.
5 to 10 is definitely like, oh, come see me and Jordan. We can work on your mental toughness. Over 10 is like, go get professional help.
Yeah.
Welcome back, kids and coaches. This is Caden Niemoff with Briones Pickleball for the Briones Pickleball Podcast. I am so glad to introduce our host, Jordan Briones.
Wow. Thank you, Caden. Thank you.
No
Welcome back, everybody. Caden's back. We're back every week. Before we start the show, we just want to shout out to our sponsors, Selkirk Sport. If you want really awesome paddles that have lifetime warranty and that are made here in the States, go ahead and check out the link below. Next thing is, we're going to be hopping into MLP stuff. Obviously, we know the results for that, and we're going to be talking about the format and kind of what we think and where we see MLP going, and upcoming tournaments, things like that. Obviously, we're going to start off with the strategy tip, which you all come here for to get better at your game. Caden. But before that, last two things. If you listen to our last podcast, we announced that Caden is now teaching these 2-day intensives, the Briones Pickleball 2-day intensives. Bang. So if you want to get on the court and really dive deep into your individual game and get either Caden or I, there's a sign up below. And last thing, I know this is the last thing here, but if you want to get one-on-one coaching directly from your smartphone, you can download the My Pickleball Coach app. Link is in the description. I have developed a team, and Caden is actually part of it. So me, myself, Caden, and a few others are on the app, really high-quality coaches, helping you straight from your phone. So if you want to get coaching one-on-one, you actually just send a film in of you playing. We will analyze it, and then we will put you on an improvement journey, improving every aspect of your game. So check that out below.
Let's go.
Caden, how are things? Like, what's going on? What's new?
Oh, man. Well, a lot of exciting things going on. I really do have just 2 days here in Arizona before I go off to tournament life.
Again?
But I have opening night at the Orchard for Arizona Pickleball League tomorrow night. It's actually the Orchard Cup rematch. So week one, straight into the gates of competition and playing a really good team. So I'm fired up for that. And then right after my match tomorrow, I actually leave for Atlanta early in the morning to play APP Atlanta. And then the following week, I have another Tuesday night pickleball match. And then I head to Dallas.
And that is Dallas, another APP.
APP Dallas, yeah. So Dallas and Vegas are the same weekends.
Okay, so we'll be following Caden on that APP tour. And we'll obviously talk about it when you get back.
Heck yeah.
But now let's jump and hop right into the strategy tip of the day. We're going to be talking about drops today.
Ooh.
And third shot drops, to be precise, with some precision there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Precision over power.
And that's a good segue.
All day, every day. Yep.
Drops. Caden, when I first started the game, this is a very interesting topic, I think. And I don't know, you tell me, because you started a few years after me. But believe it or not, no one really dropped with topspin that often.
It's true. So
back in the day, I would say 6 to 7 years ago, there wasn't, and it's partly due to technology, but also partly due to the skill set of that players had and new players coming in the game. But most drops were kind of flatter, or with a little bit of slice, some underspin. Today,
and we were always told to hit it in the kitchen. So
and we were told hit it short in the kitchen. Now, in today's game, obviously with new tennis players and other players and athletes from other sports, topspin super huge. So we're going to be talking about specifically the topspin drop today, and go ahead and check out. Hopefully, this will be out by the time this is released, or it may not be, but we will have a video on topspin drops. And Caden, dropping with topspin as opposed to maybe underspin or just a regular flat kind of drop with no spin, what are the benefits?
Yeah, topspin, typically what's nice about topspin is you're getting your ball to lift up but then drop, right?
Yeah.
So typically with a drop with topspin compared to a drop with backspin is once you hit your drop with backspin, that ball's going to bounce and it's usually going to come up straight up and bounce a little bit higher, whereas topspin will almost kick and continue to bounce outward into your opponent's body. So I would say at the highest level, most players are using topspin for their drops. Now, backspin is not a bad option. It's not something I would say never do.
Now, I would say you can drop your drops with backspin and keep it fairly low.
For sure.
But, when some players do drop with backspin, it can tend to float and sit up
right.
fairly high in that yellow zone.
Yeah, if you don't hit backspin well, that ball's bouncing pretty high, right? So if you have a really good backhand slice and, you can keep it low to the net and it kind of just floats over the net and then drops, that's a good shot. But if you hit it not very well, that ball's usually bouncing pretty high, which means that fourth ball that they're hitting is coming in with some heat.
Yeah, so the biggest key thing, exactly what Caden said, the effect of topspin that it has is, it clears the net, has good net clearance, but it's dropping rapidly, a lot more than something that's hit more flat. So, and that is very important because the players at the line, they have to kind of judge that ball, if they're going to volley it, if they're going to step back, and that ball is coming really quickly down at their feet, headed towards their feet. So
percentage-wise, what would you say you use in terms of topspin compared to anything else?
Really good. So since we're talking about drops, let's talk about that right now. I probably hit on my forehand side. So we'll just talk about forehand today because there's a lot of nuances when it comes to the backhand. But
and you do have a two-hander, so
yeah, I do have a two-hander on the backhand, but specifically sticking to forehand drops, I would say 70 to 90% topspin. And then more of a lift or a little bit of a slice sometimes on my forehand. Now, how I make that decision, I think, is really important.
For sure.
When I have enough space, when the ball has bounced fairly high, kind of towards my yellow zone, I can easily get under the ball, and I'm going to try to be hitting a more aggressive drop with topspin.
Yeah.
When I'm kind of on the defense, or I'm on the run, or on the stretch, or the ball's very, very low, so like shin level, it's easier for me to slice it, or not even slice, maybe just come under and lift. Yeah. So what about you?
So believe it or not, my forehand, I will probably drop. I mean, I'll probably hit topspin 80 to 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's completely based off of positioning. I will typically always get myself prepared and in position to hit a topspin drop, but if I can't, and the ball's maybe a little bit outside of me, I do use this kind of cupping slice technique that I probably wouldn't recommend to anybody, but it works, and it really depends on the situation. It's not something I would typically say, oh yeah, I would rather hit this. On the backhand side, I only have the one-hander in doubles, so I actually dominantly use slice on my backhand.
Yeah, I think that's most pros right now today.
Yeah, right.
But as the game is evolving too, I think we're going to see a lot more topspin drops from the backhand, adding
100%.
adding that left hand.
No question.
But that goes right into, again, so that's the drop. Again, technique-wise, I think some main key points for those of you out there that are trying to execute and try a topspin drop. Number one is one big error that I see is huge backswings.
Yeah.
And actually taking your paddle back way behind that right knee. And just the hard part with that is you're going to be accelerating from back there, and then your contact point. So, you just have to be really precise. And again, these topspin drops we're hitting, when we talk about the swing, the actual speed of it, they're not very fast.
You're right.
So when we have a huge backswing, it's kind of hard to slow it down. And you don't need to start it back there, since we're just doing this very, very simple brushing motion, brushing up on the ball. If you watch like a Ben Johns or something, who's probably one of the best to do a topspin drop, notice how he starts in front of his body, or right in front of his right knee.
Mm-hmm.
Any tips on just technique, really quick, Caden?
Yeah, I would say your footwork to give you time and space on your swing is huge. We talked a little bit about spacing. What is spacing? Well, the spacing is the contact point of the ball in your paddle compared to your body, right? If you're jammed and you're in tight, or you find that you're not preparing well enough and your weight's moving backwards, all of those things make your life that much more difficult when you're trying to hit that drop. And as soon as you kind of realize where your contact point and how you can prepare to get that contact point that you want, it'll make things way easier on you. And it took me a little bit to figure that out, but once you do realize it, it makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, so that's topspin drops for you. Again, the last thing I would add, make sure you're dropping that paddle head down to the floor, face towards the ground, so that you can actually lift with a smooth motion. And lastly, just a little tip here on targets, Caden. When you're hitting your drop, what are you aiming for? What are you aiming for? What are you looking at?
I'm aiming either for my opponent's feet, or I'm aiming for the non-volley zone line. You do not have to be perfect while hitting your drops. Like I said right before this, I was told when I first started that you are supposed to hit your drops in the kitchen. Just think about it this way, right? If you're hitting your ball in the kitchen here, and this is a non-volley zone, you can give yourself a good a good foot of margin to get the ball here compared to here, and you're probably going to be more successful at it while still hitting a good deep target. So
aiming for the feet, super important. And the whole goal for a drop anyways is to force your opponent to hit up. So really good stuff there, Caden. We're going to hop right into MLP. This is going to be a shorter podcast. We're a little pressed on time, but we're going to give you the best quality content. So for those of you who are following MLP, this was the start of season 2, right?
Oh, yeah.
New draft picks. There's a lot of
new teams, new owners,
things like that. But let's just talk about MLP just in general. Obviously it's changing the landscape of pickleball. And about the merger, since our last podcast, Caden, PPA and MLP kind of worked out some sort of deal. We don't really know really to the extent of what that really means. And we'll bring you more on that probably next podcast. But at the end of the day, things are at bay right now, and they're fine. And we'll see what it is going forward. But the winners, we're just going to talk through the winning teams, which were who, Caden?
Well, you have the Hard Eights, SoCal Hard Eights in the Challenger, and you had the Orlando Squeeze winning in the Premier. But first and foremost, holy smokes, what a weekend for pickleball. I genuinely don't think I've ever sat through a whole MLP match and genuinely watched every single point. But this weekend I did that, and holy cow, was I impressed.
Yeah. So, you mentioned the Challenger League, but we're going to focus on the Premier here. And in the finals, we had, let's see, Sissy, the Orlando Squeeze.
Yep.
And versus the, where are they?
DC Pickleball team.
DC Pickleball. So DC Pickleball, obviously, Riley Newman, and the Christian Alshon, right? And then the Kawamotos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So solid team there. Anything? Now you know about the Kawamotos probably a lot more than me because you've played against them and things like that. What are their games like?
Or what their strongest suit is?
Yeah.
Consistency. They do not miss a dumb ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that just comes with really good footwork, comes with playing the right shots, knowing when to be aggressive and knowing when to, be a little bit softer.
Yeah.
I watched them play some of the best women in pickleball this weekend, and they were dominant.
Well, I guess the other thing too, you're leaving out a little bit. Well, you just didn't mention it. It's got to be that sibling kind of connection there.
For sure.
For sure.
They've played so much together. I mean,
yeah,
that's like if you and I were playing right there. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Yeah, and then so the winners, Orlando Squeeze, and why don't you go over that roster really quick, Caden?
Yeah. So the Orlando Squeeze were led by Anna Bright, also known as
MVP.
Anna Bright, MVP. Their other woman was Rachel Rohrabacher. She was probably the biggest surprise in the draft when they drafted her. I don't think many teams knew who Rachel was.
What round was she, by the way?
She was their final pick. So it went
was that
Anna.
Third round, I guess?
That was fourth round.
Fourth round.
Yep. So it was Anna first round pick. Andre Daescu was their second pick.
Mm-hmm.
Zane Navratil was their third. And then Rachel was their fourth. Now, if you ask me, I watched the finals. Rachel absolutely balled out. I would have given her MVP for sure. Anna did end up getting it. And personally, as a Hapa, speaking to another Hapa, I am never upset at another Hapa winning MVP.
And Hapa being...
Hapa, Asian and white.
Half Asian.
Yeah, it's Hapa, okay? Not Wasian. Just get that right, okay? Get that through your skulls, okay?
Okay.
It's Hapa.
All right. So, yeah, we'll get back to Andre and Zane in a second. But Rachel, so I haven't seen much of her.
She's new.
I know Anna Bright's game fairly well. Obviously, been a dominant force on Women's Pro. Why don't you tell me about Rachel's game and what you saw, what you liked? What's her strengths? Like, what did you see, man?
So she played college tennis. So very naturally the rolls, forehand roll, backhand roll, the drops, the drives. I think with someone as new as she is, you kind of see, you see the potential, you see the rawness of the game.
Yeah.
But you definitely see a little bit of inconsistency and maybe a little bit of struggle in the no man's land. Rachel handled all of that like a champ.
In transition.
Oh, yeah. What did I say?
No man's land coming from tennis.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Well, transition zone. All right. But yeah, I mean, she was absolutely solid.
Wow.
It was kind of crazy how it all started because DC actually went up in the final 2-0, winning women's and men's.
Yeah, so format wise,
it was crazy.
So you got to win 3. You got to win 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. And so they play women's first. Women's, as in women's, the men's play each other, and then they do 2 mixed games. So you're saying DC won the women's, they won the men's, and
all
then
they had to do was win one mix.
One mix, and so Orlando Squeeze came back and won 2 mixed doubles games in a row. And who played with who, by the way? Andre played with
Anna.
Okay.
And then Zane played with Rachel.
Wow.
And actually, believe it or not, they were down 2-0 in the match. And typically, you will leave your best mixed team for the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
But because they were down 2-0, Anna and Andre came out the 3rd round, the 1st round of mix.
So can you switch it? So it's not determined. Like you could switch it the last minute.
So how it works is they flip a coin, and if you win, you get to decide whether you want to react or pick your teams first.
Got it.
So react is obviously better, right? So if let's say
interesting.
I have to play against Jackie and Riley, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to react to that, and I can put out who I want.
Put your best squad.
Right.
So I'm guessing Riley played that 3rd game. Should try to close it out. Yes or no?
No.
Oh, man. Oh, wait. So who got the flip, though? The coin flip, though?
I don't remember who got the coin flip.
So that would be very interesting.
But the third round matchup was Andre and Anna and Christian and Jackie.
See, that was the problem.
Well,
that's really interesting. But they both lost.
But I mean, it was it was 2-1 after that, and then you would think Riley and Jade would have closed it out for that third game, and Rachel and Zane, they played just freaking lights out. It would like, I you know me, I love Riley. He was getting owned out there.
He was getting owned by the Miss Rachel.
She was on one. She was ready to go.
All right. Well, shout out to the Orlando Squeeze. All right. Andre coming up. I don't even know if he was in Premier last time.
He was.
Oh, he was.
He was on the Milwaukee Mashers.
Okay. But his game has definitely dramatically increased. He's a giant out there. I don't know even how tall he is. Is he like 6'4" or something?
6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously a tennis player.
Gentle giant, honestly.
Nicest guy. Super nice guy. And Zane, you may have heard of him. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about Zane. Shout out to Zane Navratil. But yeah, I think obviously they played really well. And you said it went to a dream breaker.
It did.
So, when it's 2-2, tied 2-2, they play it out for singles, first to 21. And what did you notice there? And let's talk about that strategy-wise. And obviously a lot of people talked about this from the last podcast or from the last season, but building your team, a strong doubles team, but making sure you have those singles pieces are so important. So what did you see in the Dream Breaker specifically where it went wrong for DC?
I think the biggest thing was just the tennis backgrounds for the Orlando Squeeze. Now, I mean, DC Pickleball has all 4 of their players have tennis backgrounds. You know what I mean? I just don't think all 4 of them are like, hey, yeah, singles is a main thing for me, right? Like if you go to any PPA tournament, the only person you're going to see on DC's pickleball team that plays singles in every single tournament is Christian Alshon.
Yeah.
Right? You look at Orlando, the only guy that you would consider not saying, okay, he's not a singles player is Andre, and even he was a tennis player. Yeah. So he's not a bad singles player. He just wins enough doubles events that he's like, I don't really need to focus on singles.
Maybe he should. Maybe he should start playing a little bit.
I'll tell you right now, in the semifinal, Orlando played the Arizona Drive. He owned Julian Arnold.
Yeah.
Owned him.
Well, I saw man, I wish I could bring up that point. It was a hands battle.
Yeah.
Dude, Andre's reach is just so ridiculous. And I saw Julian, blasting balls at him left and right. And yeah, he's a giant at that kitchen line.
The only guy who I know that like has even remotely close to reach as that guy is myself. So like he's what, 6'4"? Like I'm like 6'3.5". So like, I'm almost there. But like besides that, I don't know anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Comment below if you can guess Caden's actual height. It's definitely not 6'3.5".
6'3".
But
and a quarter.
So that was that. So really, really cool. Some anything you pulled out of here, Caden? I mean, just going for the next or planning for the next MLP. What can teams do? Are they locked in? When can they make trades?
So they can make trades whenever, I believe.
Really?
And I think if you're Chicago, I think you're probably making some kind of move.
Let's talk about what everyone wants to hear, or what I would want to hear. Ben John's team, Chicago Slice, and then Annalee's team. Where are they? Oh yeah, Utah Black Diamonds. Obviously, the number one men's player and women's player. They don't make it. They don't make it to the finals. I honestly think this is why MLP is that exciting. It's because we see these different matchups. But Chicago Slice, we got Jesse Irvin, Lacey Sheeman, and Eric Lang. And then Utah Black Diamonds, we got Irina Tereshchenko, the MLP Queen, and Thomas Wilson and AJ Kohler. So and that's the thing. You look at these and you're not seeing you're missing some single specialists out there
for sure.
That's the tough thing. So maybe trades tricky, on both teams.
Like okay, in terms of strategy, all right, let's say you're an MLP owner, right? you're building a team. You have 10 total points. How many of those points are you putting into men's and women's? How many of those points are you putting into mix? And how many points are you putting into singles?
Yeah, really tough. This is what makes this, MLP is really, really interesting. We will see how the trades work out. So, okay.
I think personally, you have to prioritize mixed a little bit.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. You can think about it like this: the best kind of like mixed players
are also usually good, men's or women's,
also usually good at singles.
True. Yeah.
I would say, especially the men's players.
Mm-hmm.
Really good stuff, Caden. Let's talk about some things that happen at the MLP. Obviously, you probably have heard of it if you're watching it, following it. Little altercations going on. I don't have the video up here, but we've seen some tensions flare up. What do you think about just the I don't know, why don't you tell us what happened on that little altercation there, and what do you think about that kind of stuff going on? I talked about this to a friend, like kind of MLP is definitely a different event. Do you like it? And then after that, do you like where it's going, or do you think there should be some reins pulled here?
Personally, I think sports are meant to be intense.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, and I mean, this goes for everyone who plays sports, but you have to have mental strength, and I think one thing that I love about MLP and also hate about MLP is the fact that people take chirping just too far. And I don't mean that in the fact that they're too loud, they're too obnoxious. It's just too, sometimes it's just too much. You know what I mean? Like I get it. You're excited. You're trying to show your emotion on the court while, I mean, maybe some people are trying to look like a total D-bag, but not everyone is, but I would say sometimes you just especially knowing some of these players, you just kind of see and you're just like, all right, guys, chill. All right.
A little chill out there.
Just take a little chill pill. All right. It doesn't need to be a whole chill pill. Maybe just half a chill pill,
Yeah. So what we saw, right, what we're referring to is Spencer Smith and Daniel De La Rosa, actually formerly from Arizona. I think he's in Texas.
Texas,
nowadays, yeah. Saw a little feistiness go on, and then I don't know, something happened with the girlfriends. I don't really know, but originally, I think when you watch the video, we think it looked like De La Rosa pushed Spencer Smith. That's what everyone thought at first, but. Yeah, unknowingly, it was a little.
It was his own trooper.
Yeah, so I don't know, but obviously we're gonna see that. I just think that shout out to Adam Stone because he was one of the commentators.
Oh boy,
and it was just funny because Adam's has become a really, really good commentator. I like listening to him, and he was just like, "Oh, let's just let this play out. Let's see what happens." So he's like,
fight.
Oh man, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, there is right now. There's not red cards, but there's something
blue and orange cards.
If you're two.
If you get 2 blue cards, it's a technical foul. If you do something really crazy, it's an automatic technical foul. So
at least there's some repercussions for behaviors and stuff like that. But I don't know.
For sure.
We will,
I don't think it needs to change. I just think people need to, like I said, chill. Just chill.
Maybe chill.
Just be chill. Be chill, man.
Okay.
Go out there, enjoy yourself, be chill.
Yeah. One of the best gets here.
Holy smokes.
Probably anticipation. Biggest anticipation, best anticipation point so far of the year for sure. And we cannot get this any bigger, can we?
Oh my goodness.
Can we? Oh, yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can here. I don't know how to go back, but we're going to play this. So we had Ben Johns, Eric Lang versus AJ and Thomas here. And
Can you zoom in anymore or no?
Yeah. Here we go. This is good.
Just filthy good.
Little defense there. Little ankle. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh. Fully commit, dude. Okay, so if you guys, obviously they ended up losing the point. That was the sucky thing for sure.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, you could see Ben Johns going for this extreme angle. There's this ball that went, 15 feet in the air. And we saw, 15 feet in the air. And then we saw kind of Thomas kind of committing, just expecting the angle. And yeah, right here, boom.
Oh, God.
With the slide too. So just a little tip here. If you kind of expect your opponent to hit a large angle, you can kind of cheat and run out.
If you have court space for it, of course.
You have court space. But yeah, just probably the best gets I've seen. And yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's just silly. I am very high on Thomas Wilson. That is just ridiculous. I mean, and hits it for a reset. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
Like, that's just not even funny, man.
Yeah. So really, really good get there. Shout out to Thomas. And I think, honestly, Thomas's game has definitely improved dramatically in the past, I would say, 2 years or so. He is, I would actually put him arguably as one of the best right side players.
Dude, I've got him top 7 men in the world.
Right side or top 7 men ever?
General.
You think so?
In general.
You know what? Comment below.
In general.
Comment below your top 10 right now. Right now.
Who's the top 10 men in the world?
In the comments, and then we'll talk about top 10 women. But you know what? We should make our list, Caden.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe next pod, if you'd like to see Caden's top 10, Jordan's top 10 in the comments, we'll go men's, we'll go women's, specifically doubles. We will, comment below. Comment below if you'd like to see our picks. Next, I'd just like to show you a little highlight point here. Caden's favorite point of, oh wait, where did it go?
That's the same one.
That was the same one. All right, little highlight point here. So Caden, actually, what tournament was this, by the way?
So it's PPA Cincinnati Open.
So PPA, we got a PPA Cincinnati. Caden, along with Michael Lloyd, made it to center court, huh?
It's true, we did.
Made it to center court. Is this second round now?
So second round, we got a paycheck for winning our first.
Hey, what do you win? Let's tell the viewers, what do you win by winning one round in a PPA?
I think it's like $170.
No way. Was it really?
Something like that.
$100?
$170. Don't sell me short here.
Not selling you short. Okay, so you can see how wealthy the pickleball players are.
Oh yeah, it's a pickleball lesson with tip.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys made it to, and you got to play against Ben and Colin.
Yeah.
Okay. So wasn't your best showing probably?
No, not at all. Not even close. But
hey, made it to center court. Next time,
get that sound on. Get that sound on. Will it play? Just listen to the commentators just roast us.
Let's just see. Did the commentators do some roastage here? Okay, let's see. Okay, so we got Ben serving, and then we're gonna have a return by Caden, and we're just gonna see a little.
Yep. Bye.
Oh, little.
So the Dink posted this, right? And they captioned it. They captioned the video. A lob so good, all they can do is laugh. All right. There was nothing funny about the shot, but notice right when I went up to them.
You were smiling though.
Well, I went up to them and I literally looked Ben dead in the eyes and I said "F you," and that's why he started laughing. I was like, yeah,
did you?
F you, yeah.
And you said F you, and you didn't really say the real word. You just F you.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, I don't.
No, we don't do that around here.
I don't ever say bad words.
Okay. So, but no, nasty lob by Ben. If you want to see this, just go look up, I don't know, Ben John's filthy lob or something like that. But here we go. It's a little wrist action. This is, I mean, you can't hit a better lob than that, kid. I mean, there's no defense. There's no defense on that ball.
No, that's when you kind of just watch and
you just tip the hat.
No, you don't tip the hat. You look at the guy and you say "F you."
Okay.
That's what I do.
Or you can do that. So is that why Ben's laughing right there?
That is exactly why Ben and Colin are
Okay.
laughing right there.
All right. That's pretty funny. So yeah, I hope you guys or whoever you partner with, I hope you get on center court again, Caden.
Hey, maybe this weekend. We'll see.
Try to, but it's not gonna be against Ben.
It's not going to be against Ben and Colin. It might be against.
Yeah, but that was a good. Now, is this your first time playing against the Johns center court, or did you play them in the past? Do you know?
No, I've played Ben in singles before on center court. I've never
doubles.
played. I've never played him in doubles.
Okay, so this is the first time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, kids, if you want to watch a game with your co-host, Caden Nemaw, play against the Johns, is this on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Really?
Pretty beginning part of the double side of it.
What do you think about? Comment below if you want us to break down the strategy on that game. I think that'd be good to see, man.
Pretty quick game, but sure, why not?
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about what you were thinking.
I'm down.
We can talk about shot selection.
To be fair, every time Ben sped up at me, I handled it like a boss. So technically, I'm better than Ben Johns, but that's just me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who? Glenn Lucy, you said.
Glenn Lucy, actually, yes. So Glenn Lucy made me a little highlight reel. Even the points that we lost, he just started cutting out the parts that we lost, but just like the sick parts that I did.
So you did have a couple hand battles with Ben. You were on.
It was like 4.
You were on top of a few of them, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
He didn't eat me up. I ate him up.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
And then we lost 2-1, 1-2, something like that. Something really bad.
Shoot, 2?
Yeah, I told you it was short.
Oh man.
my friend is, I don't know why they had to tell me this, but she was like, "Oh yeah, like I was playing, and next thing you know, like all my friends were like texting me, Caden and Michael are on center court." And so I was still playing, so I just like finished the last game, and then I went onto the live stream, and it was already done, and I was like,
"Oh no!"
I was like, "Why even tell me that?" Like, like, thanks, cool, great story. What?
Okay, so it wasn't the longest game in the world, but
was not. No,
yeah,
nowhere near.
Caden, we're gonna keep working on it, man. We're gonna get you on center court again. Okay,
we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. So merger, the updates on that. I don't know.
We don't have anything.
We don't have anything for you. MLP, PPA, billionaire kind of, talking to other billionaires, trying to figure out things.
Billionaire gossip.
We don't know.
We don't.
But hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We're gonna end this. Do you have any thoughts, Caden, or what you looking for, man?
Where's the wheel?
Oh, it's right here, man. It's
right
here.
Good.
But any last thoughts before we do the legendary topspin wheel here?
Nope. Topspin wheel.
Okay. All right, we got the wheel back here. It's how we end every episode. Comment below if you got some, if you have some ideas here to add to Mr. Wheel here.
That's right.
Give it a little whirl, Caden.
Topspin.
Oh, nice form, Pronation.
Thank you. What do we have?
Pickleball confessions.
Oh shoot!
All right, little story. It could be doesn't have to be heavy. Could just be a little light thing. Anything you need to tell anybody, Caden, or maybe a story of something that happened that may not been your most your most best moment or something like that. Because you played a lot of tournaments here and there. You ever got out of control? Maybe, I don't know, Caden. I mean, you have a lot of stories.
Sure.
You're not your proudest moment.
Okay, not my proudest moment. I played in a tournament last year. Actually here in Arizona. It was at Legacy.
Oh, okay. Was it MLP or I mean was it
no,
PPA
or it was an APP.
Oh, it was APP.
APP.
Okay.
I won my first singles match, and then I played Federico. And I lost the first game 11-0. All right, 11-0. And then the second game, we had a really close game, and I ended up losing 11-9. And I was down like 4-9, came all the way back 9-9.
Yeah.
And I hit a shot. He called it out. I did not think it was out.
Okay. It was close, though.
It was close.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I thought it was in. I looked at the ref, and of course, the ref gave me like the whole not closing it. I can't see it. I can't overturn it. And I was like, of course you can't. Cool, no problem. Anyways, refs, you do great, by the way. Anyway, I ended up losing that match, and I lost like 11-9. And on the final point, he hit a serve that was pretty damn close. And
did you call it out?
No, I just played it, and of course, like, I hit it pretty deep, and like I put it like probably like a centimeter deep, and of course he like just jumps on it out. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, bro, I just gave you one. You can't give me one. And so I was heated. I was pretty pissed.
How did that handshake go? Or the little paddle tap action? Were you? Did you say anything to him? Or no, you're just...
No, I was pretty pissed. I was pretty pissed.
Did you tap paddles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was a good sport about it.
Okay.
But I actually like went into my office, and I took that paddle and I put it right under my foot and I snapped it. And
was this a power air?
No.
No.
This was believe it or not, this was a Vatic.
Okay, so you were just honestly doing a little like paddle testing to see the durability.
Absolutely, yeah. I just wanted to snap it really quickly and kind of see if I could, glue it back together.
Just for science.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a big deal.
It's a scientific experiment.
Okay.
All
right.
Didn't hold up the way I thought it would, but hey.
Is that have you snapped paddles, or that was have you done that before?
Only paddle I've ever snapped. Trust me, as a baseball player, snapping bats is like one of the things that you always want to do when you're angry. And believe it or not, I've never snapped or broken a bat. In pickleball, I have that same feeling every now and then. It's very rare. Especially since as I've gotten older, I've just managed to kind of control my emotions in those terms.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
Good job.
It's easier to get over them now because I just don't have the time to pout and then get back into a point. I just have to regroup and reset and then go back into it. So honestly, I'm not usually ever too mad. Actually, in Cincinnati, after I lost to Ben, really badly wanted to snap a paddle.
The one that we just showed.
Yeah. Really wanted to snap a paddle, but instead a guy came up to me and asked for my signature on his T-shirt, and so I just told him, I said, "Hey, here, I'll do one better," and I signed the paddle and I gave him the paddle because I was just.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Did he recognize you from the pod or what?
Yeah, and I guess he watched that match too. Watched the absolute beat down of the match. So
yeah,
I mean, he knew me by name.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So.
Hey, you know what, Kaden? We all have our moments.
We do. As long as you guys are handling it well and you know not throwing a paddle or anything crazy.
Yeah. Jeff Warning style, or not Jeff Warning style, whatever you prefer. But we can comment below the number. Okay, you can put 1, you can put 0 through 10, whatever. Comment the number of paddles you've snapped or thrown. We would like to see just numbers in the comments. If you're over 10, you might want to get some help, maybe. But
maybe a little bit.
If you're under 5, that
means you're doing pretty well.
That's manageable.
Yeah.
And it depends. If it's under 5, but in the past month, then you might have to.
I think it might be 0 to 5, you're in good shape. 5 to 10 is hey, you could come to us and we can fix you.
We should make a chart.
Yeah.
Make a chart.
5 to 10 is definitely oh, come see me in Jordan. We can work on your mental toughness. Over 10 is go get professional help from a therapist.
If you're 10 or over, we probably can't. It's probably out of our.
It's not up to us at this point.
Okay, here we go. Last one here. I want to go a little underspin here.
Are you gonna go? Oh, underspin. Oh, shit. Well, that was a better spin anyway.
All right. K drama PB stories.
Oh, super gossipy.
Why did I write this one on here?
I think we kind of just wrote it to basically just saying what is the most dramatic pickleball story that you have where something happened. Do you have one? I don't know if I have one on this one. Do you have one?
A dramatic story. I don't know. I mean, I know many times on the court. Comment below. So there was this one time on the court rec play. I'm not gonna even mention. I forgot even who the guy was, but there was a time. I don't know if he was getting sped up on, or whatever. But this was back in Concord. Okay. And anyways, it almost became a fist fight.
Between you and this?
No,
other
not me. No. I was an eyewitness here, and these two guys just got into it, and it was just the craziest thing. That's the first time I've almost ever seen a fist fight break out on the actual court in rec play.
Really?
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. Like, this is on Concord Willow Pass, so there's like 14 courts.
Just like right next to each
other.
other.
But when that happened, there was yelling, shoving, and stuff like that. So like all courts stopped.
Of course.
Right? And then it's just like all eyes on this altercation here. So that was that was one of the amateur altercations that I've witnessed.
I actually have a teaching one.
Yeah. Oh.
I have a teaching one.
Okay. All right. So teaching, yeah. Oh, you know what? I might have
told you this one already.
Kaden has a good teaching drama story.
All right. So I have every now and then when you teach, you do happen to get a couple of Debbie Downers and a couple of people who just, don't really see the purpose in listening to you. And, that's all good and groovy. But I'm here to tell you right now, if you're going to take a lesson, be open-minded, be easygoing. It just makes your experience that much better. But in this case, I was teaching a clinic, and off the bat, I actually had a lady who was in my intermediate group that was just absolutely nowhere near an intermediate. Okay, so
she was way up or way down?
Way down.
Okay, so maybe 3.0, 3.5 clinic.
So this clinic was probably like a 3.5 clinic,
and she
was like a 2.5.
Ooh,
all right.
That's a discrepancy.
That was a little worrisome. But anyways,
just really quick, if you've been to a clinic or camp like that, that can be very, very frustrating. We know, but if you want to join one of our 2-day intensives,
you won't have that issue.
We actually vet and watch footage to make sure everyone is in the same skill level. But besides the point, go ahead.
But anyway, this week that I'm teaching them, we're going over volleys.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm teaching. I'm talking about the volley, when we use it, how we do it, And she looks at me and she goes, "What if we don't volley?" And I go,
"What does that even mean?"
I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" She's like, "What if I don't even play up at the kitchen line and I never have to volley?" And I go, "Well, personally, if you can get yourself to the kitchen line and volley, you're gonna have a much better chance of winning those points."
You didn't say it like that, Gaten. You're really nice to this lady.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I was just like, I'm just like in my head, I'm like, what did you just ask me?
Okay, so
but I was just like, well, typically we want to get up to the kitchen line. We, want to try and take as many balls in the air, and when we get those balls in the air, we can usually hit down on them and apply pressure to our opponents. She's like, "Well, I don't ever play up at the kitchen line." And I go, "Why not? You're going to win so many more points up here." And she goes, "The ball comes too fast up here. I like to stay back at the baseline and hit back there." And I go, "Well, I mean, I get it's going to be a little bit faster, but I'll tell you what. If you tell yourself that the ball is going to come fast, you're expecting it. But if you don't expect it, that's when the ball is going to feel like it's coming really fast at you." She goes, "Yeah, that's not going to help me." I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, "Well, hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. Just hit a few volleys. Try it out.
Try it.
See if you can handle it. If you can't, hey, no big deal. I'll work with you a little bit. Just trying to be as nice as possible, And, of course, within the first 3 minutes of volleying.
So hold on. She's volleying with
it was just another lady.
Another student, lady. And
within the first 3 minutes, she gets hit in the face.
Like where in the face?
Like right above the eye.
Oh my! Did you see it?
No.
Okay.
No, I was on the other court.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
But of course, as soon as she gets hit, just flips her total, just everything. Flips. I mean, if there was a table in front of her, she would have flipped it. All right. She was furious. Okay. She looks right at me and goes, "This is why I don't do this." And I was like, "Okay, well, I appreciate you trying it." She's like, "No, I'm done," and walks away, grabs her stuff, leaves. And I'm like, "Well, shoot." I'm like, "Is this lady coming back next week?" Sure enough, she came back.
Okay, so this is a progressive week class, right?
Correct. So it was a class over 8 weeks.
Yeah, so she actually comes back.
She actually comes back.
Then what?
And I'm like, "Hey, we're not working at the kitchen line today." And she's like, "What are we doing?" And I'm like, "Third shot drops." And she's like, "What does that even mean?" And I'm like, how are you in my intermediate class and you don't know what a third shot drop is?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, basically the whole volley class was a total dud for her, and everyone was just irritated at how much of a B word she was being. But yeah, that's my little K-drama pickleball story.
Hey, sometimes as
you gotta have patience, man.
Patience. Sometimes as coaches,
instructor.
you know, you gotta have some good patience.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, Kaden. Well done. You know, that's always unfortunate. You know, wear eyewear. Make sure if you if you're scared of getting hit in the face, which is definitely a thing, I would recommend some eyewear. You know,
all I can say, guys, is if you're scared of a pickleball hitting you in the face,
no.
Don't be. I mean, genuinely, guys, I'm going to be honest. Yes. Okay. A pickleball coming hard at your face can be a little bit rough, can be a little bit sketchy. It's definitely not ideal. It can be dangerous, but there are a lot of worse things that could be coming quickly at your face. So, just expect it. Okay. If you expect pace, you don't have to prepare for it because you're already expecting it.
Hey, and if your reaction time isn't as fast, I would recommend maybe getting some glasses as a safety little tip there.
Mm-hmm.
And
or maybe bringing your paddle up a little bit higher. Who knows?
Ready position is important. And
Mm-hmm.
if and not worst case scenario, but if you need to give yourself a little extra space, a little extra feet off the non-volley zone because maybe your reactions aren't up to the par of the players you're playing, that might be an option as well.
That's acceptable.
So, do what you do. Thank you again for watching this episode. Any last thoughts, Caden, for the crew?
Nah, man, I love y'all. All right. We're so happy to be back. Make sure you guys check out Tuesday Night Pickleball. I'm playing this week and next week. So that is, I actually don't know the dates, but Tuesdays. Yeah. All right. Always look out for the Scottsdale Scorchers. We're going to be on fire.
All right. And again, he's referring to the Professional Pickleball League here in Arizona.
Yeah, baby.
So, again, thank you to our sponsors. If you'd like to sign up for a 2-day intensive, go check that in the description below. Caden and I would love to personally coach you out on the court, and we will see you next time.